Welcome to JHouze Radio, episode 44. It's your host, KJ, as I kick my mic out of the way. It's your host, KJ, and Viv are in the house today. We're down one person tonight. We're down one man. Los is out for the night. He's taking care of some vet stuff. So if you guys know Los on social media or in the Discord, make sure you guys send him some wishes in hopes that his pet is all good. Other than that, how's it going, Viv? How are you doing? How was your week? How's
My
life?
week was long and exhausting.
I can see it all in your face right now. I could
I
literally see
know.
it all in
I've
your
never
face.
been so tired looking in my life, like on public. But yeah, I've been really tired with like new things happening at work, and school is taking its toll because we're in the last leg of the class. So I have to do well, and it requires a little bit, like, as you start using the class platform, it starts giving you more and more responsibility. So you have to sort of take off from your day. Instead of being home and vegetating, you have to do some work. You have to sit at the computer, and like I'm always on the computer at work. So
Come on, I'd rather be home vegetating. Who wants to actually do work? Come on, I don't want to do that. That's
Listen,
interesting.
I need to get my degree. It's important, even though I'm like an ancient dinosaur.
Listen, it's never too late to get your degree in anything, no matter what age you are. But yeah, Solari in chat says, yeah, don't talk about being an adult. It's tough. Yeah, trust me. I know it's hard.
I
but
should have
yeah,
just stopped at 21. It would have been just fine with me right there.
life should have just stopped at 21. Really?
No, like I don't need to be past maybe 25 so I can rent a car.
Yeah, but then when you hit 25, then you're gonna be like, man, I just kind of want to see what else is out there. What happens when I hit 30? What happens when I have kids or whatever? Like, you're just gonna become more curious over time. I don't know.
You know what they say? Curiosity kills everything.
Curiosity killed everything. True indeed.
Including the cats.
And it's funny because I was at work the other day, and mind you guys, today's episode is probably gonna be a little more random because
very random.
that's just the mood that we're in today. We're kind of in a random mood. Like, we have some set topics, but I feel like it's gonna be a little more random than normal, which is cool. But yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day at work, and I wonder why people say certain sayings. Like, why did they say curiosity killed the cat? Like, what is their meaning? What's the meaning behind that?
Well, the cat has 9 lives, right? So if you kill the cat out of curiosity, well, if curiosity killed the cat because the cat was so curious he wanted to see,
and then the cat just kept dying.
It just kept dying. He's like, recycle the lives. Just like, have you seen that new commercial that came out? I think it's for Hyundai. And you have Jason Bateman driving on the highway, and he's saying to his counterpart, why is there an interstate highway in Hawaii when Hawaii is only an island?
Very true. Very true. What
other state?
Another one is, why is it raining cats and dogs? What does that have to do with cats and dogs? Like, what does rain have to do with two animals? I don't understand that. It's so weird.
Stray animals, back in the day, there was a lot of stray animals. Lots of cats, lots of dogs. Hello, Disney's Cruella, 101 Dalmatians, Lady and the Tramp.
No, that still does not justify you saying that it's raining cats and dogs. I'm sorry, that does not justify.
Well, I always say cats, dogs, alligators, lizards, and crocodiles.
Why? Like, that is just so random. Like, oh, it's raining Volkswagens and Beetles. Like, what? I mean, like Volkswagens and Toyotas or something. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, why? Like, why do we make these random?
So many of them.
I guess. It's just so weird. I just never understood that.
Like, why do you drive on a highway and park in a park? What is it? Drive on a parkway.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
In a driveway.
Wait, you drive on a highway and you
drive on the parkway. And then you park in a driveway. Hello?
Yeah, this is the content that we start our podcast off with, guys. This is great
Sorry,
content for you
guys.
guys.
It's just one of those moments.
Hey. Listen, I had a long week too. I
How
am
was your week? I'm sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I'm so rude. How was
Nah,
your week?
you're
How
fine.
has
Nah, it was very, very tiresome actually. I did not get good sleep at all this week. I almost didn't even make it to the podcast tonight, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get on here and chat with my favorite people in the world and just try to get over it basically. Um but it was a good week. I got a chance to watch a lot of E3 stuff this week. In regards to gaming, we got a lot
yeah?
of good trailers and stuff like that, announcements coming out.
Which ones have
Um,
been your top ones that you saw?
wow, that's my top trailer. Halo Infinite. I'm not sure if you know about Halo.
Yes, I know about
Um, yeah, Halo Infinite. They're coming out with their new game this fall called Halo Infinite. It's been a few years since we had a Halo game,
yeah.
and the last one we got, Halo 5, it was not received very well. The campaign, a lot of people did not like it, basically. And but the multiplayer was pretty good. So I feel like this Halo coming out is going to be really important for the franchise because of the fact that nowadays you have a lot of people playing Call of Duty, a lot of people playing Fortnite. Halo is
Yeah.
usually known to be like the old school game that we played back in the high school, college days. And there's a lot of people that have not played that game.
Preschool.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Um, I'm curious to see the strategy that 343 is going to make to try to make that game relevant to current players nowadays who never played that franchise or who look at
Well,
that game
it's the
as.
same thing as what is it? The Division. Have you ever played that one?
I haven't played the Division in a long time, but yeah, I have played the Division.
Same
I've played it
thing.
before.
I believe it's the same thing in the sense that it's an older game with older settings, you could
Hmm.
say. And then now, Halo has brand new stuff, right? And I'm sure that to become relevant, who's the house that makes it? Which house makes it?
That makes Halo.
Yeah. Which,
It's 343 that makes Halo right now. 343 Studios.
but are they related to what?
Microsoft. So,
There you go.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
All I got to say.
I mean, I believe in the franchise, but the thing is, like, people who played Halo before, people who are Halo fans, they're going to play it no matter what. But I think the challenge is going to be how are you going to get new players who play Call of Duty, who play Fortnite, who play all these other games who weren't around during that time? How are you going to get those people to be interested in a game that was pretty much relevant to people our age range, basically? So that's what I'm curious to see is how are they going to adapt to the new age of gamers, basically.
Well,
So
the one thing I think might be more relevant in terms of hooking them in, it's more the cinematic and graphic processing of the game. So
yeah,
if there's like scenery or if there's like new skins or if there are skins,
skins, yeah,
new
yeah.
weapons, different kinds of co-op play, different kinds of challenges. I know Fortnite for some reason is very engaging because there are challenges to get things for free inside the game rather than having to shell out V-Bucks for it.
Well, one thing that 343 is doing, which is really interesting, which is the first time they've ever done this for a Halo franchise, the multiplayer version of Halo is going to be free to play, which is awesome. So
But
they're
that's
kind
only if you have an Xbox?
well, that's the thing. Like, if you've been keeping up with some of the Xbox stuff, it's not only just Xbox, it's PC. They're doing cloud now. There's rumors that they're trying to get the Xbox service on TVs. Microsoft is making moves right now to really like ramp up their ecosystem and they're doing a pretty good job at it. So pretty soon you're going to be able to play Halo multiplayer without an Xbox. You can literally just get a controller, Bluetooth it to your TV or PC
Or
and
phone?
or phone. Yes, they do have their cloud service on. I think it's on Android right now, but it's in beta for certain people on
Well,
iOS.
I think also the whole purpose is to sort of outdo Apple in their gaming side.
And Sony too, because Sony's their big competition.
Really?
So Sony is
Well,
yes.
I mean, Sony on the console level, but I'm saying
Oh, like on like
Microsoft
yeah.
on like the
Mhm.
mobile, like Apple came out with Apple TV, right?
Yeah.
Apple came out with the iPad. Apple came out with the iPhone, the iPod, the iPod mini, all these different products.
That yeah, the iLifestyle.
The iLife.
The
But
iLife.
then you have then you have Microsoft, which is like trailing behind on certain categories. And then you have, its powerhouse, which is Xbox, which,
Mhm.
and now, like, if you have a Windows computer, you can use the Xbox sign on to work on your computer. And then from there, you can go to your phone. And if your phone is an Android and it's Windows based, you can use your phone. Like, there's so many connections
Yeah.
for gaming, and the processors for that are hysterically like out of this world.
Oh yeah.
But Apple, Apple is like, they bought out Qualcomm. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. I did not know
Apple
that.
bought out Qualcomm like 2 years ago. Qualcomm was the main chip that they used to use for their mobile app stuff in their phone.
Mhm.
And now their new chips that come out has Qualcomm technology built in,
Interesting.
plus more. But anyway, I digress. I
Yeah, I did.
think that Microsoft is trying to not overcompensate, just sort of keep up with the stride that Apple is doing in certain areas, so they can gravitate to those people that don't have the stuff that Apple has.
I mean, I definitely think they have multiple battles that they're fighting here because on the console side, yeah, they have the battle with Sony because Sony has been winning the gaming market with their um, action adventure third person games basically. And then when we're talking about the mobile side of things, yeah, they're definitely probably gonna have some competition with Apple. And I would probably I would say Nintendo, but not really because Nintendo is just in a world by themselves because they have like their mobile
Totally on their own.
device
Like,
too.
I'm surprised that Xbox hasn't been its own world. Like, it should be its own world. Like,
I kind of feel like they're creating that right now. Honestly, I feel like they're
well,
creating
it
their own world.
should stay there. Everybody should stay in their own world, and if they want to integrate, then they should just, have a parlay and be like,
Oh, there you go.
let's just see how we can plug ourselves in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see like how Microsoft like just like they just keep they keep evolving, they keep changing, and it looks good, it looks promising. So, did you get a chance to watch Loki yet? I take
Do
that as a
you know who you're
yes.
talking to? Do you know who you're talking to?
Hey, well, I didn't know you could have been busy. Things happen, adulting happens, so
I'll never let it go past a week. Absolutely, I have. Oh my god, both myself and Jay, we both enjoyed that so much.
All right,
It was
let's break down. Well, let's kind of break down the first episode. What did you think? What was your first impressions? What did you not like? What did you like?
it was um well, the fact that, it's it's the same Loki. Like, it's the same Loki from all the movies that we've seen him in. It's the same Loki. Like, they didn't change the characters, like, they didn't change the casting for it. It's still him. It's the same one.
Yeah.
Um so that was like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Disney Marvel. Thank you.
I was actually kind of worried about that too. Actually, I was worried that they might like do something to the. I mean, because Disney is pretty much like they have their hands in Marvel's back pocket right now. So I was a
Have
little.
them by the balls.
Yeah, but I mean, I was worried about it, but at the same time, I wasn't because I saw what they did with Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was amazing. I saw what they did with WandaVision, which was a complete surprise. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I got to give you guys some respect. You guys know what you're doing. So I was partly worried, but then I was like thinking to myself, I should like let it just let it be because they know what they're doing. Um, but yeah,
So I also was impressed that they had some impressive like cast members. And by
yes.
impressive means like it blew my mind away that they selected who they selected for the parts.
Mhm.
Number one being Mr. Owen.
Owen Wilson, yes, I was kind of surprised when I saw that he was going to be in it. I was
I was
so
like,
surprised.
oh my god, that is so cool. It's just so cool. Like it's good to see him in a TV setting rather than in a movie setting,
Yeah,
even though it's kind of cinematic.
it
But
still does feel like a movie, kind of. Yeah.
I love it. It's so great. And then like the mean so spoiler alert in case y'all haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, spoilers. So fast forward like 30 seconds, maybe 60 if you're listening to the audio version of this. So but yeah.
So in like the beginning, like not in the beginning, but like the cop that arrests Loki, he's
The
in Lovecraft County.
oh, the female cop that arrested Loki. Yeah, I forgot her name by the way. I need to pull it up so I can show her some respects.
Yes, please. I'm totally bad with names lately.
Yeah, that's why usually Los and I always use IMDb when we have the show because we always have actors and actresses that we forget their names. So totally
um,
understand.
but she's like, oh my god, fantastic. Wumi Mosaku.
Oh, that's the name of the lady that arrested Loki.
Hunter B5, B15. That's her character name.
Okay.
Hunter B15 is played by Wumi Mosaku.
Okay. Interesting.
She's in that other TV series that's on HBO. And I oh my god, she did such a great job. Just so good.
Yeah, she was a badass in this. She was a total badass in this one for sure.
Um the fact that we're finally exploring Loki's brain
Yeah.
and trying to see where he's at, like why he is who he is, why he acts the way he acts. Like it's not a total in-depth analysis, but it's like an onion and you're peeling off the little skin first just to see, you know.
I feel like that's what a lot of these TV shows are in regards to Marvel. I feel like because this something I talked to Los about on previous episodes that I feel like in the Marvel films, I think one of the constant things that people complained about here and there was the pacing. The pacing just felt like it was so fast, so quick. We didn't get a chance to dive into certain characters. Certain characters weren't involved as much. And people complained about that a lot, you know. And I think Marvel probably looked at that like, hey, we need to give more time with these characters so people can care about these guys. And them making like small offshoot shows with amazing quality I think was a smart idea because now next time you see Loki in the movie theaters, you're going to be extra excited to see him because you had that experience with him off screen and then on Disney Plus. Same thing for Scarlet. Same thing for Falcon and Winter Soldier. You're going to have more of an attachment to these characters now because you spent so much time with them.
Right. And it allows you to, like you said, the pacing is more like, let's chill a little, let's take it back, let's
Yeah,
see what we can see the full spectrum of this person because they have different, there's different facets of these characters
yeah,
that we don't only see the tunnel vision of one on the movie screen, but now we have the opportunity to, you know,
yeah, exactly.
welcome them in our home and sit on the couch,
Yeah,
have a little Pepsi, whatever you like to drink, and just
yeah,
enjoy who they are and explore who they are as characters because and the good thing that they have the okay for doing this from uh, most of the original people that have been playing these characters for so long, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. True. I'm curious just to see how it's gonna feel like seeing these characters now on Disney Plus. Like, how is that gonna feel going from that to seeing them in a movie theater? I wonder if like that feeling or that vibe is just gonna feel different compared to just only seeing them in a movie theater. So I'm just
It
curious to see
might
how that feels.
not. I think it might actually grow the momentum for like exciting, you know, like, oh my God,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna be a new thing. Holy crap, you know?
yeah. I know.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
Like I'm really excited to see what they do with the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Well, it's supposed to be Captain America 4, I think. I think it's 4, right? I think Captain
Yeah,
America 4 is coming out. So
I want to
I'm
say yes.
we'll just say yes. If anybody finds different,
It may
just
be yes. Please do not hold us accountable for these
exactly.
numbers and the sequences because yes, we are adults, but we have other things that we sort of remember ourselves in the middle of the day. So
Just let me know in chat or in the comments if I'm wrong. It's okay.
I'm gonna be in the middle of my office hours and be like, it's 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You were wrong.
we were so wrong. Correct that on the freaking note.
Cancel the podcast. Cancel JHouze Radio. They don't know what they're talking about. Um So yeah, I mean, overall, so far we're 2 episodes in. I'm loving it. I love the style of Loki. Like I love the setting,
Yeah.
the clothing. Like everything is just
They
so
they took it from, like, you know how WandaVision started off with all these different eras in time?
yeah,
So they're taking Loki from his current hyper state, I want to say, you know, like current 2021, 2022 situation,
yeah,
and they're scaling it into some sort of other dimension. And the dimension is very like 1950s, 1960s,
exactly. I get that
like
vibe too.
throwback retro, but not really. And since it's a different dimension, it doesn't really fucking care. Like they don't really fucking care.
Yeah, it's like you don't really know what time they're in. I mean, they travel
No.
to like different time frames, but you don't necessarily know what time the TVA is in.
Right.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, and I like the fact that we're like I feel like we're seeing a totally different side of Loki because usually when we see Loki, he's cracking jokes and he's usually trying to kill somebody, basically. But
He's
like,
super mercurial. Like they that's the only word that comes to mind right now. He's super mercurial. Like he is hot and then he's weird and hot. And
yeah,
then
exactly.
he's like deranged and hot. And it's just like
It's never in between. But I feel like this show is the in between. Like he cries like twice in this show. He
you know, he gets
cries.
all
Oh, like wait,
emotional.
what? Oh,
And the fact that he like they have a thing where they control his powers, I think that was
yeah. I
I was like,
it
"What?"
was it was so smart. I feel like every time we get one of these shows from Disney Plus from Marvel, I feel like it just gets better. WandaVision was good, and then I was like Winter Soldier, whatever. That was better, and then I was like Loki, what are you gonna do with that? And I was like, holy crap, that's even better. It just keeps getting better and better, and I'm like they are knocking it out of
Wait,
the park
I
with what they're doing with
can't
these shows.
wait.
All right, so yeah, Loki is great. You must watch it. If you have not watched it, watch it.
We recommend 100%. Yeah.
For sure. All right. So the next topic that we want to jump into is inclusion in film and gaming. As you guys know, this is Pride Month, and we kind of want to just like pay some respects to people from the Pride community who have contributed to film and gaming over the years, basically. So Viv, I want to start with you. So I'm curious, why do you think, and I feel like I've noticed this as of a lot lately, why do you think the film and gaming industry is starting to showcase more people, characters from the Pride community in their content? Like I feel like it's kind of like escalated as of lately, and like not even including like this month of Pride Month, but just over like the past few years.
Well, I believe, and this is coming from a person who has been nothing but opened about anything. Like, I don't, you want to be who you want to be. Be you, because you're very important in this world. And no matter what you are, no matter who you love, no matter where you live, you are you, and you're contributing to society in some way, shape, or form, or making it worse, depending. But I
Depending, yeah.
believe I believe that it's become more open topic, more so in the last 5 or 6 years than before. Before it used to be very taboo. I mean, like people struggling to come out and to be, free to either be lesbian or gay or bisexual or transgender or to be queer or to question who they are. Like it's a whole slew of tabooness that was so suppressed in society. And now more and more people are starting to be who they feel like they want to be, and they're in tune with who they can be, and they want to explore that. Great.
Yeah.
Sometimes life mimics art, or art mimics life.
Yeah.
And to segue into how we have been more accepting, like we've had a lot of artistic situations explore that life or that position. um we have video game artists who are, LGBTQ plus. We have composers, we have Broadway shows, we have movies, a lot of movies. There's tons of movies.
Yeah.
Exploring that, because when you're young, you like, especially now, like even I think, I don't know if it's Sesame Street or Nickelodeon, or there's a few children's shows that show that now.
Really? Like what
I
shows?
want I'm not sure which ones. I mean, I'm I'm a I'm I know there are because I've seen things.
Yeah.
But I don't recall exactly right on the tip of my nose which ones they are. But there's a lot of children's shows exploring the uncertainty of who they are. You know,
Hmm.
I like to be around girls, or I like to be around boys, or you know, there's a lot of uh people still describe like questioning who they are and having an artistic view in public. you know
Yeah.
um it allows for you to be more comfortable in saying, oh look, they talked about something that I had a question about. um and I'll sort of twist it a little bit, a little like, you don't have just the children and upcoming, youth and younger generations. You have older generations
Yeah.
that have been in hiding for so long, and now they can freely come out and be with their partner that they've been with forever.
Yeah.
And the movie that comes to mind right off the bat is Brokeback Mountain. I know. It has a lot of crazy connotations, but
Yeah.
you have the most atypical setting of two men who are ranchers in like Montana.
Yeah.
And that's the most taboo area of the world, because God forbid you're a gay man, or you love intimately a man, and you're a man and you're a rancher and you're taking care of cattle, like, but you're married. It's a lot of struggle for a human being to like digest.
Yeah.
So having those like situations where you can see a reference point of that, I think helps bring out who you want to be, who you feel comfortable becoming, and it'll answer questions. It'll open doors for discussion. um the biggest movement that you can think of is, the Pride Parade in New York, in my opinion. And that's where
Yeah.
you see all the colors, you see everybody, you see, even if you're not lesbian or gay or bisexual or transgender or queer or, binary. You can just be there and people will be accepting. There is no harm. It's a safe space.
Yeah.
And, that's one thing that people feel more comfortable about. But now I can get off my soapbox and you can go ahead. Sorry.
Well, for one, I mean, I still have yet to watch Brokeback Mountain. I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet.
One of Heath Ledger's best, I think. Him
Really?
and Jake Jiggett. Yeah, it's a tough topic. It's a really tough topic. And for you to see these two virile men who obviously have their own lives, and Heath was a dad and Jake had his family going. You see them in this vulnerable state as actors. That's just fantastic. Like,
So were
it's
they both, and like obviously you don't have to give too much spoilers. So were they both originally gay, or did it just kind of happen that way?
sort
Like,
of organically happened because the characters are, one of them is a single man and the other one is a married man.
okay,
And that's where Heath met his current, or his wife at the time.
yeah,
Um, and they have to take long trips with cattle to deliver them over mountains or whatever, and then they have to come right back.
yeah,
Um, they swap out the cattle. I mean, it's a long journey,
yeah,
and they have to camp outside with the cattle because they have to round them up, and they have to camp out together, and they share a tent, and things
things just
they
happen.
they share, yeah.
Yeah,
But they
okay,
also share intimate moments where, they don't have people to talk to. They don't have, what is it? The Calm app where they can text a therapist. They don't have therapy people to reach out to because it's taboo. You're a rancher. Why are you going to do that?
yeah,
That
exactly.
that in itself is another layer that dive into, and how he goes through life after that. It's very interesting, and it's a very well done movie. It's very, everybody makes fun of it kind of, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Also they both have family. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never knew that about the film like before I like heard about it basically. It seems interesting. It seems like a really interesting story. It's very interesting. I'm actually
Super
kind of intrigued to watch it
cinematic.
now. I'm kind of
It's
intrigued.
super cinematic. It's very beautiful in terms of what you see.
Yeah.
The imagery, the photography of it, the cinematography of it.
Yeah.
Um, but the storyline itself, it's a very deep, layered story. And, to see it with the respect that it deserves, it's wonderful. I mean, a lot of people struggle with that. And,
Yeah.
as friends that we are to people, and I have a lot of people that I know that are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer. Like,
Mhm.
there is no harm in being a good friend to people
Yeah.
who need someone to just sort of hash out their brain a little bit. Maybe they're too scared to go to a therapist. Maybe they're too scared to go to their own family.
Yeah.
And,
Probably.
I think that celebrating pride in this day and age is even more important because of how things have transpired with, Black Lives Matter, or the Hispanic Latino community, or, like, you have a lot of issues that have been like, like exploding everywhere.
Yeah.
So this has been one of those persistent issues that everybody has been, it's been setting the pace, I think, for a lot. So
Yeah.
now it's in full stride.
And I think going back to our original question, I think that's probably part of the reason for me why I feel like film and gaming is diving into that like inclusion in their art a little more because they're just trying to be diverse, and us as humans, us as a society, us as a nation, we are diverse. Nobody's the same, you know. We all believe in different things. We all are attracted to different things, and I think them including just more diversity in entertainment is important because there's only but so much that you can really entertain, reinvent when it comes to film and gaming. You know, over time, some things just become samey. Some things look like the previous film you saw or the previous game you played. So it's important to invent and just try different things and include different people because so many people can have amazing ideas. You know, if you try to stay set to just one particular crowd, you might not get that innovative idea from a person, you know, who was black or white or Asian or Latino or somebody who was from, like, you know, the LGBTQ community.
Right.
So I think it's very important to keep inclusion like open to anybody nowadays, honestly.
I don't know
'Cause you
if you
never know.
remember, but like a few years ago, I want to say more than 4 years ago, there was a moment where the LGBTQ community asked you to put a safety pin on your coat, and it was during the winter. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No, I didn't
Putting
hear
a
about that
safety
one.
pin. So if you had a safety pin, and this is oh, what was the guy from not Power, the show about the thing, the lions, on
Oh,
Five
Empire.
Empire. Yes, the singer, the actor singer, that got attacked, supposedly got allegedly got Jewel.
Oh, Jesse Smollett.
Just
I think that's
yeah,
how you say his last name. I'm not sure.
right, Smollett or something like that.
Yeah.
He was a great singer. He was a fantastic singer, but
Amazing singer. Oh man, he carried that
him
show.
for him to stoop in that direction was just crazy because obviously there was other things tied into his, life. But
Well,
um
first off, to like break it down for people who may not know, Jesse Smollett from Empire, singer actor, basically faked and supposedly one day we found out that he got attacked on the streets in Chicago. Somebody he claimed that it was a race attack. They beat him
mhm,
up. I think they took his money, something, they robbed him, and then they also put a noose around his neck and just threw like a bunch of racial slurs at him. We eventually found out, like, a couple days later, that
you're right.
supposedly he set this up, that they saw him with his attackers a few hours before, just talking to them. Like, it was this whole big thing for a few months actually. I think it went to trial, and he wasn't found guilty. I don't think he was. Yeah, he wasn't found guilty, right? I don't think he was,
I'm not sure.
because
He was indicted. He was indicted for disorderly conduct and allegedly staging a faked hate crime assault. But the charges were dropped, and he was re-indicted on similar charges relating to something similar shortly thereafter.
now, do
So
you do you think he was doing that? I mean, well, I heard he was supposedly, if it was a fake attack, that he was doing that because he wanted to stay on the show longer, something like that.
there
I
was
don't
a
know.
lot of there's a lot of questionable situations with Mr. Smollett, but
Mm-hmm.
um I think he wanted to be a little bit more respected. I think he didn't feel he was entitled, like his entitlement feeling is not, it wasn't where he felt comfortable. He wanted more. He felt I think that he wanted more. And that's going beyond just attention. He wanted respect, awareness. Like he wanted to be, big. He wanted to be a huge star.
So do you think that was because he was a gay man? You think people weren't respecting him because of that? He was trying to find a way to get people past that thought or that idea?
I don't I well, that might be a reason. That might not be a reason. It might be tied into a different reason.
Yeah.
Um you know, he's also an African American man. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of other tied in things that go
Yeah.
with that. And being an African American black man in
Yeah.
America and gay, a lot of other stuff happens to
Yeah.
be tied in. So there's a huge ball of things that he perhaps wanted to explore or unwind and you know, just come out with a different approach. But my whole thing is that he was an unbelievably, or is an unbelievably good singer. He had a gift, and he was privileged in that he was able to be in the show with all these other fantastic actors and talented people.
Yeah.
And yes, he was a gay man, and he was portraying a non-gay man for a while, and you know, it demonstrated his you know, his ability to act in a different setting and a different capacity. But my thing is that shows a little bit of disrespect for the LGBTQ community, because
That
he
show in
had to,
general, you say?
well, no, him alone,
Oh, okay.
just because he was, you know, I think he was, it's disappointing because he was so good. And you know, even before he got attacked, he had a few interviews that I actually got to see, and he sang, and he was the most incredibly wonderful person.
Yeah.
And whatever was going on in his head and whatever he was planning, really screwed up his career in some ways, you know.
Yeah.
And for an LGBT community person who was standing for that community, he just totally dropped the baton on that one, like 100%, because he was spearheading a lot of good things
Yeah.
in the artistic realm, you know. So those things, I mean, they have to be handled with care, no matter what. And I believe that it's not fair to have a person with such great talent like Jesse um go and do some crazy random things, just, you know, with intention, without intention, just out of character for him as a human, as a person who's part of that community. um I feel like it was very like very not,
And his
it was,
character.
yeah, it was so disrespectful. I mean, it just makes me really sad. It really, I'm a little like, I can't really, because he was so, he's
I mean, I think sometimes people can look at you a certain way that you might not even look at yourself. Some people might look at you and say, "Man, you're talented. You're amazing. You're great." And you're like, "Wow, really? I thought I was okay." You know what I mean?
right.
So for him and his perspective, if that is what he really did, if he did, you know, fake this attack, maybe he didn't feel that way. Maybe, I mean, because like I said, I think supposedly at that time his contract on the show was up, I believe, and he wanted to, if this is what happened, he wanted to possibly get some kind of like heat around his name, you know, try to spice things up a little bit.
Validation, recognition.
Validation, yeah, you know.
Of
So
course.
maybe if that's what happened, maybe that's what he was trying to achieve. What are some of your memorable characters, you know, played by members of the LGBTQ community?
Um,
Um,
in film or in
uh, film, gaming, either one. I mean,
I
yeah.
feel like what's her name? She did Juno. Oh my god. Ellen, her name now is not Ellen.
Oh, it's not
Wait.
Ellie Page anymore?
No, it's
She changed her name?
yes. Okay, so
Really?
she's in the Umbrella Academy, and she, Elliot. Her name is
Elliot Page.
Elliot.
Yeah, yeah. Elliot Page.
So she when she first came out on the scene, she was in Juno.
Yeah, I
and
remember
she
that
was
movie.
very very like mousy kind of girl, and as time goes on, she does a lot of different genres, a lot of different parts, a lot of different roles. And when she did the Umbrella Academy, I was like, oh, they don't have her name on there. They have some guy's name. His name is Ellie. And I go to Jay and I go, they changed her name. He
So
goes,
like, so she changed her in real life name. Really? I
yes,
didn't realize that. Wow.
yes. She is one of those very much a big proponent of the LGBT community, but she herself went through a transformation, and she is now Elliot Page. Very an interesting situation, but she still advocates for um the rights of the LGBT community. She still supports them. She still does a lot for the LGBT community as a representative person. So
Yeah.
that's good. Um, Another person in that I can think of. Um, I have to like look.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll jump into mine real quick. I think one of my well, I have a character from the video game The Last of Us, The Last of Us Part 2. I'm not sure if you got to play it.
I got to
Uh
see gameplay on it.
The Last of Us Part 2, oh man, like for one, that game was amazing. Um and for two, I feel like that game got a lot of heat during that time that it first came out, for a lot of reasons. But one of the main reasons that I found really surprising is that one of the main characters in the game, people find out that she is a lesbian. Basically, well, she was the
Oh
main
wow.
character. Yeah, the main character in the game. People found out that she's a lesbian, and a lot of people kind of were upset about that, which I don't understand why they were upset about that. I mean, if you're playing a game and you're playing a character and this character already has a set story. This character already has a goal that she's trying to, achieve,
Right.
and you're just there for the ride.
Right.
And people were online writing hate, like they were literally writing hate mail to the creators of the game about, oh, why am I playing with a gay character, another female character in the game? She was a little brolic, she was a little muscular, and people were making assumptions that she was a transsexual and just throwing a lot of shade at the game. And I was just really, it was really distasteful. It's like,
Uh,
you have an artist, this artist has a vision on what they want to do with their art, and then you're threatening them because of their vision. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. And it was
Defeating,
very, huh?
and it's defeating and disrespectful
Yeah.
towards that, because a game is a game. It's art. It has a lot of creative liberties on their part. So, and that I know for a fact that game has beautiful artwork. Like, it's drawn out really nice. Like,
Yeah. 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 That
super
that game's amazing. It is
super
amazing.
very the details in it are very nice and very crisp, very distinct. But yeah, that's horrible to see how fans would be so ignorant about. It's just a game, it's a character. It's not, you know, it's not your first choice, but it's part of the storyline that you have to complete so you can finish your challenge, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, I will say the playthrough of The Last of Us 2 for many reasons is probably one of the hardest playthroughs I ever did in my life. Not even just from a difficulty standpoint, but just that game makes you do and experience things that are very uncomfortable. It's not something you traditionally see from a video game standpoint. I think that's one of the reasons why I love PlayStation and some of the stories they put out. This was a really heavy story. and
It
one of
humanizes the person. It humanizes the
oh
character, or
yeah, it humanizes the entire story. Like the entire story has always been humanized, but it's just, and like I said, I don't want to spoil it. I mean, the game's been out for like a few years, so, but it's just some of the things that you do in the game, like the game makes, because usually when you play a game, you make your decisions about what you're gonna do and you do it. But the game has a story, like everything is set, and some characters do things that are very uncomfortable, and you might not want to do that in particular as a person, but you're here for the ride, no matter what. And
right,
it is for
part of
me
your objective in the game. So it's an
is
in-game
ex-
objective.
exactly. It is, a lot of people even said this too. It is a very uncomfortable game to play at times. So it was heavy, and yeah, there were some topics that, you know, some people might not agree with, you know, whether you don't agree with, you know, the gay community, you don't agree with, like, you know, women dating women, but you know what, this is the game, this is the real world. I think the game in a sense was a representation of life, and a lot of people couldn't handle that, they couldn't agree with it, and I thought it was really distasteful that people of the gaming community would literally send hate mail, and even to the actors,
Really?
the woman who played the woman who played the actor who was a lesbian in the game, and
Uh-huh.
the woman who played the other actor who was a little more on the masculine side, they would message the actors of the game and threatening them because of the
Wow.
role they played. Like, they're actors, they're just doing their job, and you're
My
gonna
God.
literally send them hate mail. It was one of the craziest things I think I've ever seen in the gaming community ever. I'm like, dude, come on, like, that's like going to Steven Spielberg and saying, "Oh, I can't believe you made ET look like that. I hate you." Like, what?
It looks like a blob.
He looks like a blob.
He
Like,
looks like a blob.
or like I could go to like the director of the Fast and Furious films and say, "Oh, well, how dare you kill this character? I'm gonna come like kidnap your kid." What? Like,
Yeah.
come on. Let's jump into our recommendations before we
Oh
get out
boy.
of here. You were actually talking to me about an app earlier. Can you well, if unless you have another recommendation to break down, but what will be your recommendation before we get out of here?
The well, I have just recognized that there's a huge amount of in social media. People are starting to put their faces and look like a Disney character, animated wise. And there I got into this rabbit hole of finding out how the heck that these people are doing that.
Okay.
Even on Facebook, like how do they do that? So I ended up looking and I found the app, and the app is called Voila. And it's like this.
Voila.
Voila.
Oh, that's with a
Um,
V. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was like a W, like voila.
Voila. And it pretty much can make your face a 3D cartoon.
Interesting.
But
Interesting.
I mean, the ones that I've seen make you look like a 3D cartoon from like the Croods.
I would love to
Which is
do
a
that.
cool movie.
You know, it would be a great short if we did like a YouTube short and like we were all just like cartoons. That
If our
that that would
faces
be
were cartoons, that would be so
that would
cool.
be kind of hilarious. I think that would be a good idea to
It
actually do that
makes
one day.
the expressions and everything like you do. Like it's really fun.
Oh, really?
But I haven't tried it physically yet. I've only seen it done by other people. So once I get mine, I will. So
Oh,
that way you can.
we gotta get you to try it and like put up a video on the channel and like
I'll
see how
do
people
it
take
on
it.
TikTok.
There you go. There you go. I'm down with that. Awesome.
Oh, also recommendation. Her name is Carla and Company. She makes these awesome t-shirts. And Carla, I ordered a few of your t-shirts that you designed, and one of them is very special to me. This one says, "La vida es dura, life is hard, but I'm stronger. But dura soy yo."
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but there's another one. It's called Chancleta Survivor, and you have a flip flop right. It's so great.
I think a lot of us can attest to that. Even if it isn't a chancleta, It's something. A switch, a branch, a belt, something. You know, mom's hand
So,
survivor from smack you in the butt. Something like we're all a survivor of something for sure.
so Carla and Company, you guys, she makes amazing t-shirts. Support a fellow Latina in business. And I love the creativity that she comes up with. So I did binge on buying a few of those t-shirts. So
Hey,
I'm
make
gonna
sure you
get you one.
send me that information so I can actually put it in the show notes for people to check it out and click on the link down below.
Carla and Company. Yes, I'll remember.
All right, awesome. So I have two recommendations, kind of. My first recommendation is the JHouze Studios Patreon.
Nice.
uh,
Nice
make sure you,
segue.
yeah, nice segue.
El business. El business.
Exactly. If you guys, well, it's kind of a segue, but not really a segue. So yeah, if you guys want to support the studio, financially, even if it is just $1 a month, that'll help out. We're actually working on some new T-shirt designs that'll help
Yeah.
us, pay for that stuff, and we have special benefits for each tier in our Patreon. So I'll make sure I leave the link for you guys in the show notes. Support the studio, man, if you would like, or
Do it,
even
please.
even if it's just subscribing or liking or sharing the podcast, that's even a great way to support the studio as well without even having to spend $1. So, also,
Listen.
my second recommendation will be a film by Tom Holland called Cherry, and it's on Apple TV. You watched it?
Yay.
You watched it? Oh man, such a good freaking film. I
Very good film.
Very, yeah, it's I recently watched it. I wasn't thinking anything of it. I saw the film a
Right.
few months ago. I didn't even think to watch it, and Tom Holland kills
Amazing.
this performance. You literally forget that he's Spider-Man.
Yes.
You really do.
He has amazing acting chops. Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty much about, a guy, a young man who is having, like, I guess he
PTS,
gets to, I'll say it again.
like a PTSD effect.
Yeah, he goes to the army, he gets married, he goes through some traumatic experiences while he's in the army, comes back and just suffers from crazy PTSD. Eventually, he gets a drug addiction. Who his girlfriend, or I guess fiance or wife, I'm not sure if they got married. She
Mhm.
eventually catches on to that as well, and then she starts using. So it's pretty much just a downward spiral from there. Um, it really gives you a different outlook on PTSD and drug addiction, and that's pretty much what this film kind of revolves around. It is a cinematography masterpiece. I love
Yeah.
a lot of the shots, the
Yeah.
angles they take. It's great. Tom
With the
Holland.
Russos. Didn't they do that?
Yeah, the Russos did this one.
Thank
The
you,
Russos are
Russos.
amazing. The
The
Russos
Russo
are amazing.
brothers. Props to the Russo brothers.
For sure. I love them. I love also right here. I don't know if you can see this scene where the bank is called Credit None. They do that a lot in the film. A lot of the stores in the film just have stupid names. Like just really just random, just weird names. And I thought that was kind of hilarious. You got to
It
really
was,
pay attention to it to see it.
yeah, little Easter eggs inside.
Yeah, a lot of Easter eggs. I thought that was pretty funny that they just threw that in there randomly. Um, but yeah, I highly recommend you guys to check out Cherry. It's on Apple TV Plus. I recommend you to just watch Apple TV Plus. There's a lot of sleepers on
There
that service.
are. There
There,
are a
yeah,
lot.
there really is. The morning show. Um, what's
They
the
have
other one?
that film, the Justin Timberlake movie.
Yeah, I forgot what the Timberlake one is called. I gotta relook at that one. But we have the morning show. We have Epic Quest, which is kind of like if you like Friends and you like The Office, you will probably love Epic Quest.
Palmer, that's his name, Palmer.
Yeah. Palmer is the one. Is the name of that show on Apple TV. Check out
And if
check out
you
Apple TV.
if
Really,
you
guys.
like if you like documentaries, also you have the Elephant Queen. It's about the hierarchy of an elephant herd and the matriarch that leads them through very difficult challenges in, I want to say Namibia, but it might be wrong,
Okay.
in the country. But
Interesting.
it's in Africa, and beautiful. It's beautiful, and they have a series called The Tiny World.
I haven't watched
You
that one
have
yet. I haven't
you
watched
have
that
to
one.
watch it with your kids. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to watch it with your kids. Let me tell you, you have
My backlog on what I need to watch right now is so huge, especially with the ones that Los throws at me. Los throws like a new show at me like every podcast, every other day. Like, hey, did you watch this? Watch it. Add it to your backlog. So,
make a
but yeah,
list. Keep writing it down.
exactly. So, all right, guys. We really do appreciate you guys watching us live. If you guys are checking us out on the
And
audio
listening.
platforms, yeah, make sure you guys watch us live on youtube.com/the JHouze. You can check us out there. If you're not already here. Big ups to Los. Hopefully him and his pet are doing great. Hopefully we'll have
Sending you
Los
lots of love, Los. Yeah,
for sure. Maybe we'll have him back next episode. We should, by the way.
we will
We'll
have them
see.
back.
Other than that, guys, yeah, if
He
you're watching
also
this,
needs to comment on, like, bunnies that are made out of
oh
chocolate.
come on, we literally
And
we
the
almost had a
sexy
full
shirt that Mr.
episode.
Keith has on today.
Listen, we almost had a full episode without mentioning chocolate bunnies. You had to ruin it. You had to ruin it. It's okay.
I had to like channel my inner Maui.
Oh my goodness gracious. Los is gonna love that. He's gonna appreciate that. So yeah, if you guys are here watching us on YouTube, make sure you guys when you guys like the podcast, it helps us in the algorithms, it pushes us up there, get us seen by more people. Subscribe, share the podcast. If you're listening to us in audio format, you do the same thing. Follow the podcast, like it, give us 5 stars.
Spotify.
Yes. It feels so great. Like it's pretty cool to actually see the podcast on Spotify. I thought that was pretty dope.
I know. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, I can listen to myself on this.
Other than that, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for checking us out. You're awesome. Stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye.